They say it can be seen from space. They say it protected an entire civilization. But what they don't say is that it was built on sacrifice, on blood, on the bones of the forgotten. This is no ordinary wall. This is the Great Wall of China, a monument of ambition, battles, and brutal endurance. Welcome to Legacy Unearthed, where we bring history back to life. Not the polished version in textbooks, but the raw, untold truths buried beneath centuries of dust and time. Chapter 1. Before the Wall, 2,300 years ago, the land we now call China was not one nation. It was chaos. A patchwork of rival kingdoms locked in endless war. This was the Warring States period, a time when survival meant conquest. And peace was just a temporary pause between battles. Each kingdom built its own walls to keep enemies out. But the threats didn't only come from each other. To the north, nomadic tribes, the Xiongnu and others, launched terrifying raids, pillaging villages, burning fields, and vanishing into the steppe. Then came Qin Shi Huang, a ruler with vision as fierce as his armies. He did the impossible, unified China under one empire in 221 BCE. But unification brought new problems. How do you protect a vast, newly born empire from enemies on every side? Chapter 2. The dream begins. Qin Shi Huang ordered the merging and expansion of old fortifications, building what would become the earliest version of the Great Wall. But this was not a feat of engineering. This was a trial of human will. Hundreds of thousands, possibly over 1 million people, were conscripted. Soldiers, peasants, scholars, and prisoners. They worked without rest, in extreme heat and bone-chilling winters. No modern tools, no machines, just hands, ropes, and primitive tools. And those hands, they blistered, they bled. They broke under the weight of the emperor's ambition. Many died. Some say tens of thousands, others say hundreds of thousands. Their bodies were not taken home. They were buried inside the wall itself. This is why some call it the longest cemetery on earth. Chapter 3. A legacy built over centuries. The Great Wall wasn't built in one reign or even one dynasty. Long after Qin Shi Huang's death, other dynasties continued his vision. The Han Dynasty pushed the wall deeper into the deserts. The Northern Wei reinforced it with stones. And then, the Ming Dynasty, after devastating attacks from Mongol forces, built what we see today. The Ming didn't just build a wall, they created a fortress that spanned over 13,000 miles. They added watchtowers, barracks, arsenals, and beacon towers that could relay messages across vast distances using smoke by day and fire by night. It wasn't just defense, it was a message. To every outsider, we are united, we are strong, we endure. Chapter 4. The wall is tested, but no wall is truly unbreakable, and no empire is without flaw. Enemies learned how to exploit weakness, not just physical cracks, but human ones. Bribed guards, corrupt generals, betrayal from within. The Mongols eventually broke through. The Manchus too. Not always with swords, but with silver and secrets. The wall slowed them down. It bought time, but it could not save dynasties forever. Chapter 5. The Wall Forgotten, then Reborn. After the Ming fell, the wall began to crumble. Nature took over. Vines crawled up stones, winds howled through hollow towers, and dust swallowed once mighty ramparts. For centuries, locals dismantled parts of it to build homes. The wall, once a shield of stone, became a skeleton of memory. But history has a strange way of calling us back. In modern times, the wall was rediscovered, not just as a relic, but as a national treasure. It was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. Millions now walk its paths every year. They smile, pose for photos, admire the view. But few hear the whispers beneath their feet. Few realize that beneath each stone lies a life once lived, a name lost to time. Legacy Unearthed remembers. At Legacy Unearthed, we remember them. The men who never returned. The women who waited. The children who grew up beside a wall built on sorrow and strength. This is not just China's story. It's humanity's story. A story of ambition, both noble and cruel. A story of endurance in the face of impossible odds. A story of what we build when we believe something must last forever. So the next time you hear someone say, "It's just a wall," you'll know better. You'll remember the pain, the power, the people. Because this is not just stone. This is a legacy unearthed.